We're back. This is about Stephon Clark and his brothers Devontae Clark, and it may or may not segue into the current social and political climate of how this whole situation is handled versus another situation. So that probably gives you a clue on where we're going. But we're going to start off with Sidra talking about what she had learned dealing with Stephon Clark and his autopsy.
I read an article today. I can't remember where it was, but it was talking about Stephon Clark's autopsy. Of course, with him being killed in such a way, his family doesn't trust, anything dealing with the police department, medical examiner, coroner, or anyone like that. So they hired someone to do the autopsy on Stephon Clark. They hired Bennett Omalu, and he was the medical examiner who discovered CTE in the brains of football players and other athletes after their death.
What is CTE?
You trying to put me on the spot?
Yeah, I'll put you on the spot. What's CTE? I know it has to do
chronic. It's called chronic traumatic encephalopathy, and it's the long-term damage that can happen to someone who suffers repeated small and major concussions over an extended period of time. It basically degenerates the brain into that of a dementia patient, and they suffer extreme behavioral and mental deficits, and usually leading to their death by suicide or other means, usually violent.
On the movie done on that?
Concussion. But he was the I don't know his exact title, but he was the medical examiner who discovered it. So they hired him to do the autopsy on their son because prior to discovering CTE, that's what he did. He did autopsies to discover the exact cause of death of the deceased. And what they discovered, which is contrary to what the police reported, is that the shots that killed Stephon Clark all came from behind. He got shot 8 times in the back.
Out of 20 shots. So they were shooting at what, 40%?
They shot him in the back.
You would think you would think officers shooting in the daytime would have a higher amount of accuracy now, wouldn't you?
I thought they were shooting at night.
They were.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't see at night.
So the story that they felt their lives were in danger. I don't know who feels their life is in danger if someone is running away from them with a phone that they thought was
a crowbar
or a toolbar or a gun. So they were immediately suspended pending investigation. Of course, their superior is backing their decision, but who knows what, if any, fallout there would be from this revelation. Once again, I was disappointed, saddened, not surprised. These things don't surprise me anymore, as I'm sure they don't surprise Sedrik or anybody else when it happens. I saw another, this was a post, someone posted this on Facebook. It was a picture of Stephon Clark. He was laying on his couch asleep. He had his newborn baby in his arms who was asleep, and his toddler draped over his leg. They were all asleep. And these kids aren't going to remember him. They're not going to remember him.
You done? When it comes to remembering Stephon Clark, the police will report that he had cocaine in his system. Did he? Did he not? We don't know. And I have gone over this, but we don't know. But you'll know that from police and from how the media will report that Stephon was a cokehead, a crackhead who was running from the police, who may have been bashing in car windows and stealing stuff. And he was shot when he was brandishing a gun. That's how people are going to remember him. And why I say people is because the majority of the country gets to tell the history, while the minority of the country gets to take a back seat to having a voice at anything. That's how it is until everyone changes it. Now, his brother, Stephon, he rushes into, he goes into City Hall or wherever it is when they're doing some kind of gun regulation or gun reform or just gun debate or something. He rushes in with a lot of followers and he's chanting his brother's name. He goes in, and when I was looking at them respond to him, there was no life in, honestly, the panel of elder white people that was doing the legislation bill, if it was ever going to pass in the first place. I think that's what it was there for. But they didn't care. They weren't even bothered. Even when Stephon got up in their faces, which anyone would consider, even I would consider would be threatening, they didn't bat an eye. I mean, privilege much? So I was like, what else has gone on? And it seems that the social climate is very powerful when it comes to this. See, they want you to forget Stephon Clark, just like they want you to forget Tamir Rice, like they want you to forget Trayvon Martin, just like they want you to forget any and every other African American shot and killed for no reason other than just simply racism. And it's a learned culture. It's learned. We know that. Anyone with brain one knows that it's a learned culture. You have to stop the blacks from rising up and voting. That transitions into you have to stop the blacks from having civil rights, which transitions into you have to stop the Black Panthers from showing that they have equal gun rights, which transitions into you have to stop the Black Panthers from trying to get equal rights in other areas and even possible world peace, which transitions into you have to get the coked up marijuana smoking blacks off the street. So you have to make a 3 strikes rule. And before that, the drug war that Nixon and his administration admitted over time that was a racist thing, and that it was easier to do it that way and build money in the industrial prison complex off of minorities, not just blacks, but all minorities. And you got to crack a few eggs to make some omelets, so whites will go to prison too. Which ones? The ones from across the tracks. You know, the beatniks, the pot smokers, the tree huggers. You know, those people, or those who are poor, trailer park, who got no home, who's living on the street. You know, those. But going back to the majority minority, which is no longer today. But back then in the 80s, blacks made up 19 to 20% of the country. Now they make up 13% of the country. Racism, using the cops as hired assassins and hitmen to help much? Yes, it does. That's why when you get even people like Don Lemon, perfect last name, perfect. But when he gets up there and Stephon, he simply says, say my brother's name. And he says, he's like, I don't want to do that. That's basically what he said. He said, it sucks, it's sorry, and it's bad what happened to your brother. And he's like, say my brother's name. And he's like, we're running out of time. You know, is there anything you want to say about your brother? Say my brother's name. He would not say his name because when you keep repeating someone's name, you give it power. And you do not want to give power to the victim. So long as the cops keep killing these black people that know that we are all programmed, black people too, we are all programmed to not give a damn about black people. We aren't. And we are supposed to see Mexicans or Mexican Americans like cockroaches, even worse. Black people are the scourge, but Mexicans, they're the job takers, the job killers, the society ruiners. You know, and black people are the community ruiners, the property destroyers. That's what that is. That's how it's seen. That's how we have to take it because that's what's always portrayed. And when it comes to after the 3 strikes rule, and then when did black people actually get a fair shake? When? See, I remember in the year 2000, I remember December of 2000. Then into 2001, I remember January all the way up to March. I remember a mass commercial run to join the military, the Army, the Marines, the Navy. I remember that. It lasted all summer long. It was the biggest campaign I have ever seen. And then it gets quiet. And then 9/11, 2001. And then all of a sudden, every pro-black person is being recruited. In secret. It's not on TV anymore. See, TV was made for white people. But not just, no. Certain white people. The ones I mentioned. The poor. The ones in the trailer park. The ones that are homeless. The ones that, if I had this, I could get these things. And they were recruited. Worthless whites and hated blacks. That's what was recruited. Blacks then, because see, Muslims was the new target. Blacks had a fair shake. Oh yeah, black people was all up under some black people then. Protect me, protect me. And we're like, yeah. And it's all good. Until when? Until 2008. When Obama just showed up. Where did he come from? See, this is the social and political climate. And as soon as Obama started running, black people got on the shit list again. It was on the shit list again. So as Obama was in, hey, that's just how that go. Racism came out. And now we've got the Parkland shooting. Now we got that. Now, I've said this in a video before, but if you don't repeat, then people don't remember. So here's the thing. You got over 1,200 black people killed in the past 2 years. All right. Now, we ain't going on what's reported. We're going on what's actually done. So, well, let's say if it was 4 years, let's say 5 years. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's say 30 years. 30 years, you've got 1,200 black people killed by cops that are unarmed. I mean, that's still too much. That's still more than zero. It's not how many killed, it's the reason why. And see, if you take away the reason why, then all you got is just plain damn mindless murder. But when you put a reason behind it, you get an ideology. That's something Nick Avick touched on, how ideologies are nothing but bad things. Because the ideology is to hate the Negroid, to hate the Negro, to hate the black, to hate the African, to hate the African American. And then you can throw in racial epithets all around that if you want. But that's what the design is. So when one gets put down, it don't matter. But Parkland, see, they almost are suffering, but they got something. They're white. They got being white. Now, I'm not trying to cause racial divide. No, that's not my intent. And that's not my desire. My desire is for it to take off those rose-tinted glasses, to take off all of that privilege that you got and see the world for what it is. See, that's what I do. My idea, my job, my need, my cause is to help you remove the fog from your eyes. That's what I do. That's what I do. I shed light through the fog. You don't need to go through the bullshit. And a lot of people are doing that. And it's good. It's good, but they need to be louder. They need to have a voice. And these Parkland kids, they're doing the right thing. I applaud them. We need them to keep doing it. They need to push gun regulation. They need to be the ones that go out and do basically what Obama did. Get out and vote. Do it. Vote for the right thing. Vote for gun legislation. Vote for here and there and all this and stuff. Vote for your power. And that's what these Parkland students are doing. I'm sick and tired of them saying that these people witnessed and watched their friends die in front of them, because that's not what happened. And like they was lined up against the wall and watching their friends get shot up and them dying. They're like, oh my Jesus, oh my Lord, that's happening. No, it won't like that. Not at all. Not a bit. They need to stop that. Stop over victimizing. Stop that mess. But I'm going to say this. These kids, see, they got shot up. And what did the press do? They tried to sweep it under the rug. It didn't happen. Don't worry about it. Just another school shooting. Let's focus on the school shooting. No, not the kids. Just the fact that the school had a shooting. And then let's not call it what it is, which Nick Avick pointed out. It's a massacre. It's a damn massacre. Because you, as you say, you can't say, no, I have no need to stop massacres. You can't do that politically. Huh? It wasn't Nikovic. Who was it? It was Texas Progressive. I ain't heard from him in a long time. My bad. But let's give it to Nikovic anyway, because Texas Progressive ain't acknowledging he and I when we comment on his damn videos. So you get what the truth is. The Texas Progressive did it, but we're gonna take credit because he ain't gonna do the right thing and acknowledge us when we acknowledge him. So sometimes you got to play ball. We give credit where it's due, but fuck you when you do it. When you don't play ball, you get a fuck you sometimes. That's what happens to certain people on CR Wrestling. If I boost you, I talk about you, but you ain't got the nerve to bring me up, hey, I stop talking about you. That's what happened. I'm being fair. I'm being honest. Credit where it's due, but if you don't want to play ball, fuck you. That's how that go. But let me keep going with this. So this Parkland shooting, the kids spoke up. But they didn't just speak up. No. They used platforms. They kept talking. They got news recognition in their area. News recognition. And when it seemed like they was threatening just a little bit to get some gun legislation going, just put it in the air. Now, they hadn't said what they want. They didn't really have a thing. They just said we need gun regulations. That's when what happens? You have to get ahead of it, right? You got to get ahead of it. So then you start telling all your little base people, all of them, these Second Amendment gun nuts, these freaks, these people out there, you get them believing they're trying to take away your guns. They're trying to, and even go out to say, remove the Second Amendment. Completely remove an amendment. Do you know the power it takes to do that? You can get an amendment added, but it takes some real good shit to get it taken away. I don't even know if there's anything to help take it away. I think you just get amended and redone. But they go out and say they're going to take away your guns. I'm like, just go up in your house and take your guns out. We got them. We can't do nothing about it because it's the law now. They get these people believing that stupid mess. And then these people send these kids these threatening letters, these death threats. I mean, just think about how sick it is for a kid. Okay. Schools get shot up. Kids get murdered. Parents don't get to see what that kid would do in the future. Every day that parent has to sit there and be like, what would my kid be doing today? How would they be doing in school? What friends would they have or lose? What trials and tribulations would they be going through in these few months or weeks or whatnot? What dates would they go in or mess up on? What would happen? They don't get to have that anymore. And they got to wake up with that ghost memory. Okay, you wanted them to come to breakfast or get ready for school, but they are not there. And these freaks got the nerve, because they're freaks, and they got the nerve to shove it in their face and say, we want to kill you too. We don't want to stop the gun violence. We don't want to stop the massacres. We'd rather have every single one of you dead instead of you take away our guns. That's the message that they're promoting, because they keep death threats going. That's some sick people. Those are some sick people. And these kids, the majority of them are Republican. But the Republicans are saying they're liberals and their liberal agenda and they're liberal. That's all I can hear in my head, liberal. And that's what they push. It's some sick mess. It's a nasty, disgusting, vile United States of America. It is gross. And these people want it. And social, political climates, you got this going on. Well, you know what? Hundreds, if not thousands of black people that got shot and killed in the past 5 years, but you killed 17 white people, and all of a sudden, it's in the news. It's all over the national news. It's on the cover of Time magazine. Oh man. Who was the one? The black dude, the father that got killed, choked out after breaking up a fight. Which is why the cops are out there. It won't. Eric Gardner. He died. His daughter fights on. You're not going to dismiss and forget about my father. When Barack Hussein Obama calls her and says, we're going to get you out. We're going to get you in front of people. We're going to talk about your father. She got there. He didn't talk about her father at all. Obama ain't bring up shit. He just simply mentioned that she was in the audience and then kept talking about what he was talking about. He literally shit on everything. That's what's messed up. And now she's dead. She's gone. But while she was alive, they tried to push her as an extremist, an activist, an extreme activist, a liberal extreme activist that wants to take away the guns, who is pro-violent, who is on drugs. What? Yeah, very anti-cop. And after she died, the day she died, they were saying stuff like the cops are safer now. Saying stuff like that. Blue lives really do matter. I'll be honest with you. I can't say fuck you strong enough or hard enough to anyone that goes with that type of mess. I can't say it hard enough. I give you the finger, but I can't stretch my finger far enough. I can't make it large enough. I can't make you hurt enough because it's wrong. See, I hate people who harm people who are harmless. See, that's what I don't like. I don't like people who hurt harmless people. What's the other word? Innocuous? The innocuous of the country? It's a weird word to say. It sounds like something you do with an inkjet printer, but it's just strange. But anyway, I digress from that. It's the way these people are going, these black communities, basically it's a small thing so they can say, hey, talk to your people about this. Because the community should have no more than about 300 people in it because it's a community. Maybe about 12 homes in your community. Go talk to your entire community, your 13%. That's what I don't like about that word community. That's why I don't like it. But the black people are saying the same thing I said. Look, these white people get killed, so now you got coverage. You got talk of gun legislation, And then there's the others out there, and I agree with this. They say, look, I can't remember who it was, but it was on Benjamin Dixon, the last episode. I think it was 557. I don't know for sure, but it was the last one that was uploaded. And it was a stand-in, and she did a really good job. She got emotional, but she did a really good job. And she said that the thing is, we can't use this to divide because we got someone, it's a voice. And does it overshadow us? Yes. But if we work with them, it helps give us a voice. So we have to use their voice to help bolster our voice. And I agree with that. It's not these white kids' fault that America favors them. It's not these black kids' fault that America don't favor them. It's not that they are innocent. They were born into a world and the world treats them away based on nothing but the color of their skin or to bolster their own racial agendas. That's it. The kids are innocent. It's the adults, the elders, the politicians in control, and then the adults at home that feed off of that hate and racism and segregation. These are the ones to blame. They're the ones that feed this beast of hate and racial divide. And see, right now, what should happen, because David Hogg has been attacked ferociously. All right? Ferociously. They can't attack him on his skin color, so they talk, well, you got a 4.1. He actually got a 4.2 score in high school to go to college, but no college will accept David Hogg because he's speaking out against what, white people like, the racist, bastardized white people. Now, I ain't talking about the good white people. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about these asshole racist motherfuckers. He is speaking out against the Second Amendment, gun nut enthusiasts. And so he's not going to get into a college. And I can't remember who her name is, but the Fox News bitch is all like, man, you just, maybe if you had better than a 4.1 grade average, you might have been able to get in. Can't say, oh, well, if you weren't smoking dope, if you weren't on cocaine, if you weren't weed, if you didn't have a broken home. Oh, no, you can't use your code words. If you weren't from the inner city, if you weren't from that, you can't use code words. No, because he's white. That y'all don't have code words for that other than your hedges aren't as high as someone else. Your 401k plan from your family sucks. You got nothing. So you got to pick on his grades, which is probably better than hers. Damn sure better than mine.
4.1, that's just
He got a 4.2. She calls a 4.1. I'm like, it's a 4 anything. 4.0. Man, yes. If they don't want him, it's political. Because anybody, look, it's political, and the boy got money. He's got money. His family got money, so it's all political. Oh, yes, it's political. And let the colleges find it. Let it get known which colleges are turning him down. See what happens. When you turn down someone who's white, a survivor of murder, a massacre, great scores, no problems in school, and you're turning him down because of politics, let that get out. It's not out. Let that get out and see what happens. Schools are going to suffer, and they're going to suffer big time. David Hogg hasn't harmed anybody. He's been harmed by everybody. Every one of those school students, whether they were around the shooting, whether they were right in the midst of it, it don't matter. These students are all being harmed by everyone. And they just wanted to go to school and live their stupid lives. And the sad truth is the mass majority of them was probably going to hate minorities anyway because they grow up in that. They in Florida. All right. As what Sidra had told me, somebody had said something in Florida. The more north you go, the more southern you get. And there's a lot of schools up in the north south of Florida. And they are some hateful places. I know because I've known enough people from those areas. I've known enough people from Florida. They are some hateful bastards. Not every last one of them, but the majority of them. That's the truth. If you don't like it, deal with it because it's the truth. And these people here want to hurt Hogg. They want to hurt every minority out there. Whatever shuts people down so murder can happen and these gun manufacturers can make their money. The NRA can make their money and pay off these politicians so the politicians can make their money. These things will keep happening. We don't have a safe society. If the police ain't killing you, then you've got these little gun clubs killing you. And if the gun clubs ain't trying to kill you, then you got the politicians that's literally compliant within your death. They are letting the laws pass. They are even pushing laws to make guns easier to get a hold of. The politicians are literally by proxy murdering everybody. They can easily stop the cops. They can easily stop the NRA. They can easily stop the gun manufacturing. They can easily get the guns off the street, but they don't and they won't because that money is more important than you, me, or anybody else. The only time politicians have been shot in the head. 2 politicians shot in the head, and only one will say, we still need the Second Amendment. I am still for guns. And Gibbard, she's like, I'm up in the air about it. I'm not sure. Why? Because she doesn't know where her party is going to lean. That's why. She got, Gifford? Not Gabbard, Gifford? Gifford? Okay. And, hey, they're white. So that money must be damn good. Because if I got shot, broke as I am, and someone say, hey, man, $500,000 for this month, just make sure that, you speak well about this. I'd be like, fuck you, man. I got shot. And you want me to speak on behalf of getting shot again? Get the fuck up out my face, man. That's about where I would be. I can't see myself saying, you know what? I need this money so bad, but you know what? Everyone in America, listen to me. The best thing you can do in the world is get shot. It's the best thing going today. Find a friend, give him a gun, make sure he shoots you. Second Amendment, everyone. Getting shot. Have you been shot today? And it'd be on the front of Kellogg's or something. I don't know. But that's what they want. They want the Kellogg's rooster to shoot somebody. See, that's how you straw man. That's what would happen. The RNC wants a Kellogg's rooster to shoot people. That's a straw man right there. It's a stretch, but it's a straw man. Like these Republican children saying we need gun reform, that they say the liberals have brainwashed them into getting the guns off the street and out the hands of people and destroying the Second Amendment. It's a straw man. And that's what's happening. I've dominated this conversation, but I had a lot more to say than Sidra. And, it's pretty much it's going to be April soon. So I'm going to need a new graphic for the background. I'm going to need new colors for comparative reasoning to represent, our tornado season, our spring, and I think April is Aries, so to represent that. That's what we're going to do. So do you have anything else to say, woman? Anything you want to compound on what I said? All right. Well, this is Sedrik Kennedy and Sidra Owens for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.